behalf of Ferguson College Autonomous Pune National Service Team Vignan Prasad Group, welcome you all to STREE, a webinar with Mrs. Jayashree Khadare ma'am on the occasion of International Day for Rural Women, guiding us on the topic Women Empowerment in Today's Scenario and Women Laws. A very hearty welcome to our programming officers, Dr. Santosh Parande sir, Professor Deepa Kulkarni ma'am, and Professor Shivaji Kokate sir for today's program. A warm welcome to our today's speakers, an inspiring personality, Mrs. Jayashree Khadare ma'am. There is a lot to say about ma'am and their achievements, but to introduce in a few words, I would like to add, ma'am is an active social worker in the field of child and adult education. She works as a judge in various people's courts for 20 years. Under British out of centuries, ma'am visited various villages and provided them with the information regarding law through sessions. Now, I request our speaker, Jayashree Khadare ma'am, to guide us further.
Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Namaste. Good evening to all. By myself, Mrs. Gadai. Honorable Principal Sir, respected professors and authorities of NSS unit of the reputed Ferguson College, and my dear promising students. As today is the International Day of Rural Women, celebrated all over the world, we are going to discuss about the empowerment of rural women in modern scenario and some of the women's protective laws. I am thankful to the Honorable Principal Sir and the authorities of the Ferguson College for giving me an opportunity to be one of them in the celebration of this event. And myself owe to this opportunity to my rural sisters and all women with whom I have worked for 50 years in the interiors of Koina Valley and Patan Tehsil. Empowerment of rural women means making rural women powerful, making rural women or women in general strong, efficient, confident, and self-reliant. Their powerlessness is to be transformed into self-esteem, creativity, and joy. We have to bring them out from the dark caves of past pressures, evil customs and traditions, to the progressive light of modern life. You know why earliest childhood is so soft and full of light. Kids also have plenty of troubles. Like us, kids also have plenty of troubles like everybody else. But they are helpless. They are powerless. Their powerlessness is the mainspring of a child's joy because the child leaves all its troubles to his mother. So past, present, future. His whole life is caught up in one look, that is smile, smile, and smile. So what are we going to do? So we all have to take up the role of a mother, the role of a loving, considerate mother to bring rural women up, to uplift them. The progressives have to work for the progressives, the city dwellers have to work for the rural ones, the well settled have to give helping hand to the job seekers. The main question is, are they really powerless? The women may seem or consider up to this time weak emotionally, and feeble in physics. But they are neither so. They are not feeble, but they are stable. They do their duties perfectly where they are situated. Actually, women are mentally strong in the hours of dangers and difficulty, in the hours of disaster and calamity. A woman stands like a rock to face it. She gives backing to her life partner, to her family members. In the case of life partner, she she gives backing in his success and in his failures too. A woman works shoulder to shoulder with men in every walks of life. A rural woman works with her man in farms. In Venkatesh Marbulkar's story, Sheku is a farmer and Sheku's wife is strong. Sheku wants to plow his farm, but he has only one bull. She needs another bull, but Sheku's wife is strong and she pulls the plow with only the help of one bull. That means a woman can be a strong, physically fit too. You may have heard a farmer committing suicide. Have you heard a farmer's wife committing suicide? No, never. Then who is weak and who is strong? Physically, some men are also weak. On the other hand, some women are strong. It depends man to man and woman to woman. Moreover, physically, a woman has a plus point. She gives birth to new generation. The conditions in rural areas are changing gradually nowadays. The facilities of higher education, science and technology, and digital world is reaching them. Thus, the opportunities for women in rural areas are flourishing. Poverty, ignorance, and the inferiority complex is the main obstacle, main hindrance in that progress. The reformers have to concentrate on these sectors of women. The sectors below poverty line are the female farm workers, the female construction workers, and the females in slum areas. The fact is that every woman is special. We say every child is special. In the same way, every woman is special. As the fingerprints of every man, every human being are different from one another because nature has created every human being, every man, every woman special. Nature has allotted some special quality, a different stream of genius, a different stream of genius in the heart of every man and every woman. We have to encourage the rural women to find out their speciality. They should realize what they are good at and implement their potential, their speciality, their excellence into the practice. A sculptor carved a statue or a sculptor carved an idol out of a big boulder. He removes unwanted stone flecks with its chisel, and lo, a beautiful idol comes out. They say the idol exists already inside. Then what has the sculptor done? The sculptor only removes the unwanted stuff. The same is the case with the rural women. We have to handle them. They are expert in something. They are they have to look inside and find out their speciality, their potential. When NSS students visit the rural areas, they should find out the potential, the speciality, the excellence in the rural men and in the rural women, and try to provide them an opportunity to put that skill into practice, production, and profit. Here comes the scheme of local for local. Every village should form an industrial training and manufacturing center. They have to use local raw material. They have to use local craftsmen. They have to use local women with special skills. Then you will ask, what about the capital? The capital can be collected from the government funds, from the donors, and from the local shareholders. They can make special products of their own village and advertise them as a novelty. Adapt the concept of local sellers and local buyers. Villagers should pledge to shop from local centers. Villagers should pledge to give work to local craftsmen and not to hire skill, technique, and expertise from outside. That was a simple way the villagers lived in old days peacefully and happily. Trainers, tax masters, marketing experts are needed. No favoritism. Strict discipline is must. Task masters will behave like potters. A potter slaps the pot from outside and his left hand supports the pot from inside. It means you have to be strict on one hand and soft on the other hand while handling the new trainee. Plus the trainee, and they will put their best in their work. Teach them marketing skills. Who can be a successful marketing person? A successful salesperson needs to be a good listener. Customers can give you hints. Customers can suggest you modifications in your products. It helps to bring quality of your product, enhance, and your products enrich or become famous in the market. If a rural woman wants to achieve success in her business, if a rural woman wants to achieve success in her services, she should be ready to have patience, to digest failures at first or initial errors, have patience and perseverance, and at last, finally, hard work and talent crowns all. And finally, success is yours. Some government offices like District Rural Development Organization, DRDO, or Nehru Youth Center help rural women giving free vocational training and providing funds for proper vocational projects. What you have to do, you have to register a society. You have to form groups of 10 to 15 persons and send their applications to the concerned offices of the trainees, and then if your project is worthy, you receive the aid. The Union Ministry of Women and Child Development also launches online platform to support women entrepreneurs. The scheme is called Mahila A Heart. The scheme helps to support women entrepreneurs, also help self-help groups, that is SHGS, and NGOs too. They showcase your products, they advertise your services, so women can register themselves at Mahila A Heart official website to get broader market. There is another scheme called STATE. STATE is short form. It is support to training and employment program. STATE. The program works for women. It aims at providing skills that can give the scheme aims at providing skills that can give employability to women or to become themselves self-employed. The duration of the courses is 5 years. The sectors under this scheme included are agriculture, horticulture, food processing, handlooms, tailoring, embroidery, handicrafts, computer training for IT enabled, travel and tourism, gems and jewelry, etc. There are so many schemes by the government, state government or central government to help the rural women and women in general. So another scheme is Sakhi. Sakhi you can call, or one-stop center scheme. It was implemented on the 1st April 2015 with the Nirbhaya Fund. Their centers are at various locations all over the India. They work for victims of violence and provide them shelter, police desk, legal, medical, and counseling services. Thus, they are available 24 hours helpline. Toll-free number is 181. There is one more scheme for women, that is Swadhar Grah. It has been implemented since 2002. Swadhar Grah provides rehabilitation for those women who are in difficult circumstances. Rehabilitation for those women who are in difficult circumstances. The scheme provides everything, all the basic needs to such women: shelter, food, clothing, and care to the needy women. Who are the needy women you can call? For example, widows. Widows deserted by their families, or female prisoners released from jail but who have no family support, or women survivors of natural disasters, or women victims of terrorist violence. They can get help under this scheme. NGOs are the implementing agencies. So NGOs can have this scheme in their locations or locality and provide the aid to the needy women. Working women hostel can provide shelter for rural girls or rural women migrating to cities for education come jobs. Psychologists agree that most of us have creative abilities far beyond those we use in daily life. I repeat, it is useful to everyone, not only rural women. Psychologists agree that most of us have creative abilities far beyond those we use in daily life. If rural women, or in fact all women, will allow their mind to soar, they can realize their creative abilities hidden inside them, and if they put their potential in practice, for them the sky is the limit. There are many examples of rural women who have empowered themselves in the hour of the need. A rural woman named Tijan Bai from Chhattisgarh, from Pardi tribe. She was married at the age of 12. She was expelled by her community. She rebelled and she started performing on the stage since the age of 13. Up to that time, only males sang Mahabharata stories in poetic form. She took Tanpura and sang and acted boldly like males, entertained the people with epic stories in poetic form in Pandavani style. She was the first woman to sing in Pandavani style. She became famous. She was awarded with Padma Shri, later on with Padma Bhushan, and then with Padma Vibhushan too, and with Sangeet Natya Academy Awards, and so many awards further. Later, she participated in Indian group under cultural exchange program and traveled all over the world. There is another example of a Gujarati widow. After her husband's death, the Gujarati widow was helpless, but she started the business of Pithora traditional painting, and she earned bread and butter for her little children. It was her family business. The foreigners demanded her paintings a lot because they were so beautiful, so artistic, so aesthetic, and she earned the name and the fame too. Both these rural, uneducated women strongly created their own path. So a rural woman should never cry over difficult situations. Take it otherwise. Difficulties, poverty, and boycott too can be a push to rise you up. What's needed is positivity. It's necessary to rest and hope for something better. Join the skill development program or use your hereditary skill, family trade, and present it with new innovations. Secondly, have patience. you have to attain, sometimes re-attain. Better the methods, better your ways, wait for response, and finally you can reach the success. And once you succeed, no need to turn back because as it is said, nothing succeeds like success. You can gain perfectly that what you have dreamt to have since long. You can gain perfectly that what you have imagined to accomplish yourself, but only trying is needed. The economic reform in the life of rural women can make them financially independent and improve their standard of living and enrich their personality and apply silver lining to the dark clouds in their adverse conditions. Modern age is marked with three main principles expected to be followed by all the nations. Three main principles expected to be followed by all the humanity. What are those three main principles? Those main principles are liberty, equality, and fraternity. In rural areas, many women and some women in cities too aren't completely free. They depend upon the males for decisions and permissions. When we call a meeting or when we call women seminars, we ask the participants whether they have asked their husband's permission to attend the seminar or have they told them freely that they have decided to go there to attend the seminar. Their answers make us understand whether they are free or not. The law gives you freedom and equality to male and female equally. But many women don't experience it in real sense of the term. In a novel, Animal Farm, the novelist George Orwell writes, all animals are equal, but some are more equal. The same way I ask our husbands, sons, brothers, male workers, male officers, male leaders more equal or are they treated superior to female ones? Think over it. Females should get, so I think females should get equal freedom to learn, to earn, to solve their problems on their own. As it was in old days, some professions were restricted to males and women were bound to some professions. At present, rural women should be allowed to do male jobs as to run a small cottage industry or to run a flour mill or poultry farm, shopping center or do accounting and marketing, etc. Now, Jains should get accustomed to treat females with honor and equality. Fraternity means brotherhood. The learned, the independent urban women or youths or college students like you should show emotional intelligence and treat and help the rural women with kindness and courtesy and tune themselves into their needs. Pay attention to them. Raise their confidence and self-esteem. Praise and cheer them. Praise them specifically what they are good at. Give them unconditional support. Encourage them to come forward and show them the way to the new world. I think this can be the motto of NSS unit. Indian women have so many protective laws to support them. For example, there are some laws against child marriage, dowry system, prostitution, and there are some laws for equal wages, equal rights as inheritor in husband and father's properties, rights for maintenance, etc. Let us see some important provisions in the laws in present situation. There is a law about protection of women from domestic violence. This law was implemented since 2006. This law provides shelter, medical facilities, and counseling to the aggrieved woman. The government appoints protection officer. The state government appoints protection officers, preferably women. One has to inform the protection officer about such violence committed orally or in writing. Then the protection officer will prepare a domestic incident report. Then he will submit the report to the magistrate and he will forward the copies of the report to the police station and the service providers or social workers. In case the aggrieved woman is illiterate, the protection officer will write and read and explain the contents of application to her. The protection officer prepares safety plan to prevent further domestic violence, to provide legal aid, medical aid, shelter, and counseling to the aggrieved woman or the victim. If information is received through email or a telephone call, in emergency, the protection officer or service provider seeks immediate assistance of the police and go to the place of occurrence. Immediately record the report, submit it to the magistrate immediately and seek appropriate orders under this act. The magistrate also offers effective relief and proper direction. The victim or the aggrieved woman can complain about breach of protection order to the magistrate or to the police. If the arrested accused person is on bail, he is restrained from threatening, harassing, telephoning, or contacting the aggrieved person, aggrieved woman, and she should stay away from her residence. Which are the types of violence considered under this act? So those are first, force, sexual intercourse. Secondly, force to watch pornography. Thirdly, accusing, humiliating, degrading, ridicule, and calling names also comes under the domestic violence. Accusing character or conduct. Insult for not bringing dowry. Insult for not having any child also come under domestic violence. If they prevent to take you a job, if they prevent you from leaving the house, force to marry against your will, that is also domestic violence. Not providing money or not providing maintenance to you and to your children is also violence. Not providing food, clothes, medicines. Forced to stay out of the house as punishment for days and nights or throughout the night also is a violence. Selling or pawning your freedom, woman's freedom also comes under domestic violence. Forced to take away your salary, your income, your wages also is violence. Demanding dowry. Many of these things in these sectors occur every day or every now and then with women, but they are ignorant about the law. There is another law against humiliation, immoral demand, sex harassment of a woman or an employee in offices or workplaces. Regarding this law, a committee of women is to be compulsorily formed in every office. The committee should have monthly meetings. The committee should try or arrange seminars to educate the other employees, male and female too, about the law. In case of a complaint, the committee members call a meeting, they discuss about the complaint and make inquiry regarding the complaint and then they report ahead. If the criminal is proved, the punishment is under this act up to 7 years and loss of the service. This law is protective to female employees and a strict warning to modern Rama. Constant incidents of rape are a great sensational issue to society and sensible citizens too. The rape and constant news of rape, reports of rape is a burning topic or burning problem today. If you want to prevent them, what measures can we have or what solutions can be there? As for girls and women have to be mentally strong. Girls and women should be given self-defense training. The police department should take this point into consideration. We social workers also ask the local police stations to arrange such defense training to school girls, college girls, or women. So 90% or 94% of rapists are familiar persons. So what girls or women have to do, they should recognize and beware of such persons by face reading. So the girls and women should learn the skill to read a man, to read a person, to understand his inner instincts. There are strict rules for daughters and wives at home. But we can say there should be strict rules not only for daughters and wives, but there should be there for sons and husbands too. Teach, we say charity starts at home. So teach our male family members to respect females in every form. We have to inculcate good ethics in females as well as in male members of family and our concerned groups. At present, a new law is coming soon. It is called DIA. The state government is going to sanction the law Disha in the next session. Here there are 3 points. The first point is to start hearing within 21 days after the FIR. We have heard such cases of rape linger for years together, and the criminals don't get punishment urgently. So this point is important that they should start hearing within 21 days after the FIR. Secondly, they run the case.
ऐकून मला आपण इतकं वेळ बोलला तू हे लागलं समजत ना तुम्ही
To run the case on fast track and reach fast track court and reach the judgment. There is strong demand for the punishment. Thirdly, punishment should be for the criminal proved death sentence and nothing else. Last word. I'm sure enthusiastic youths of a reputed police college will render immense service to the rural women, to the rural area, and prove to be well. My eldest bro was a student of Ferguson College, first class scholar of 1961 BSc batch. Later he became a mechanical engineer. He is no more now. I commemorate him on this platform by my presence. I pay my gratitude and hearty thanks to all. Best wishes to all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. Sejal, am I audible?
Okay. Yes.
Yes, Tanaya.
Yes. So, ma'am, we'll start with our question and answers round. Guys, if you have any questions, post it in the chat box. So, ma'am, we have 2 questions here. How can we help increase women participation from rural as well as urban regions?
First, we have to take the meeting, confirm them that we are there to help them, and we are going to start some progressive programs for them. We are their persons. We are taking initiative to uplift them. So, how you confirm them? That is important.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have.
You should have, secondly, you should have some planning. You make survey of the rural area and what are their needs, what they need, what are their problems, and you have to do some planning and open planning to them. Then they will respond usual. What is your question?
Yes. Second question is, how can we students as volunteers support the upliftment of women in our society?
Hmm. Say you can visit some officials, local officials in the cities, some organizations or Nehru Youth Center. They are available in your city. So you can visit these officials. They are very helpful. They are very considerate. They need the people like you, the mediators like you, to reach the rural women and help them. So they will surely help you and they will guide you how to go forward and how to seek further help from other organizations too. You can reach the rich persons in your in your location. They can donate you. You must make some project, and your project should have some important points, some worth in it. So the rich persons are also ready to help. So you must try, try you will get help, and try and you will get way.
Yes, definitely, ma'am. One of the volunteers is asking your opinion about the political participation by women.
It is good. The nowadays politics wants good participation. So women should participate, and there is 30%, 50. We ask for 50% of reservation because the population of women is 50% in our in every nation. So 50% reservation should be there for women in everywhere since ground level at Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, Jilla Parishad, and to the assembly also. But in fact, I can say we have 100% chances to be political leader because in male can stand as a candidate in the female reservation uh, leg- uh, area, but women can stand everywhere. They can use 100%, but that they will come afterwards. But nowadays, you can have good participants, good female participants at every stage. They should try and they should do good work. The citizens or the people will understand what is the difference between a male candidate and a female candidate. Who works sincerely? Who uses the money or the fund properly? So the difference should be before the people and they will respond to more and more. So I think women should participate in politics and they are welcome. See, very few percent of women are there in politics, and they are also not so capable, not so worthy. It is regretful to say so. But social workers, the real women, they work at ground level, but they are not there where the laws are being made, where the policies are being made, where the funds are given. They are not there. The women, they are from political families, their wives, their daughter-in-laws, their daughters. How can we expect good work from them? Because they have no experience of ground level people, their problems, their needs, their realities. So the women from ground level, the social workers, the educated students like you who have worked in the rural villages on the platform of NSS, they should come forward when you have completed your education at first, and then these are the lines for you.
Yes, ma'am. Also, how can we increase women education in rural areas for those women who are married but remain uneducated?
Hmm. There were the schemes of adult education. So you have to appoint the teachers, local teachers, who are enthusiastic to teach their in their ward, their family members, the neighboring women, and I myself have started 5 such groups at Kohinoor Nagar, and I have got teachers enthusiastic, free of charge. They are teaching such women to read and write. And one of the lady, she was illiterate at first. Then she became educated, literate, but she wrote a letter to her son. Uh, he was very proud of her. So it is possible. We have to motivate the local people and they do it. You can visit in between and guide them. There is Committee of Adult Education at Jilla Parishad level. Find it out.
Yes. How can we contribute to uplift women economically?
The only way is to give them some profession, some business, some work to do. What will be profitable to them? And that is the point. They should make profitable. They should be made financially independent. Nowadays, in some families, the women are dependent financially on their husbands, fathers. Remain backward. They can't take their own decisions. So they should be economically, financially independent. So that's why they should be given some work which will give them payment. So such organizations should come forward, city businessmen, small things to do, paper bags or cloth bags, ready-made petticoats. So they can do it. Preparing masks, whatever is the need of the day. You have to find it out and give them work and give them payment, and they will be bold and they will assist you in every program.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. One of our volunteers is asking, even though we are spreading awareness, the number of crimes are going on increasing against women. Even after so many laws and sections, our system is not working accordingly. What are your concerns about this?
The basic thing is that our mentality is to be changed. Mentality of the some crooked males. They have to be trained, educated, or they should be taken in some stream which will be worthy, which will give their hands some work, and there will no man is bad, evil at root. Every person is innocent, but the conditions make them so. So we have to change the mentality of the wicked person. We have to change the mentality of the society also. And we have to educate the people, men and women, about the laws, about the offices. They are ready to help them, but nobody is going there. Sometimes I know the funds return back in March after the end of the year. So they need some person to take the funds, to use them properly. So educating people, changing their mentality is necessary. The change will occur gradually. It is not to occur immediately.
Yes, thank you,
If
ma'am.
we see such person, if we see such persons around us, if something wrong going on or something wrong happen, suddenly we should take measures. We should inform the elders, the police station, our teachers, our professors, and we can stop the crime before what? That is important. No use crime over spilled milk.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Women's small scale business are present. How can they be converted into large scale in today's condition as they aren't known to technology?
Hmm. If you start at low level, small scale, automatically your business will enlarge, and that will reach higher margins. So you don't worry about it. So many I have known so many examples of businessmen who have now touched the skies, but they have started at very small scale in the beginning. And later on, the new businesses come out of one, the second, out of second, the third one. Once you succeed, then there is no limit. But starting is important. Beginning is important. We have to begin, and the problem is there. We have to canvas, we have to advertise because we are not famous persons. So at first our product we have to, if we go to sell our product, we have to convince people. We have to go door to door. We should be ready to receive negative responses, and we should not go back. We should go on and on. Your this is a power, your strongness, that is important. That will give you success. It will take time. It takes time always.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Ashwati is asking, we have definitely heard about the saying that एक औरत ही दूसरी औरत की दुश्मन होती है. So does this saying happens while spreading awareness?
It happens sometimes because if you ask about the teaching of rural women. If a rural woman is going to adult education center, another uneducated woman also teases her, names her, accuses her. So a woman many times is a woman's enemy. Sometimes some mother-in-laws mother-in-laws are also against the daughter-in-law's progress. But we have to face this problem. These things happen, but the same persons again become your supporters. The same thing happened in old age also. Tukaram, you have heard Sant Tukaram. When he was giving bhajan kirtan, at first so many people were against him. They tortured him, troubled him. They threw the Abangas into the river, but people have remembered them, and she again the same people became his devotees. So that phase is there in every woman. Some woman in any form will come against her, oppose her, try to trouble her, but she should be strong in her decision, in her going out on and on.
Yes.
The
Thank you, ma'am.
counterpart also is there. A counterpart also is there that some women support you, some women approve, but some women support you. So take it easily, like take it naturally. It is naturally going to happen, and many men are ready to support you. So in old era also there were social workers like Mahatma Gandhi, Rajaram Mohan Roy. They were male and they work hard to uplift the women. So there are men who can support you. There are officers, they can support you. And there are some good women also ready to support you. That is enough. Look at the brighter side of the thing, what you are going to do. There are dark sides, always there are dark sides, but look at the brighter side. And you will get hope. You will get courage. Courage is important, remember. There are some people discouraging you. They may be many, but there may be some encouraging you. So look at those persons. Look at those things.
Yes, ma'am. Prapti is asking, can you share something about Rahibai Popere, who is an inspiration for rural women?
हाँ, she is uneducated woman, but she took a task which nobody has taken before, and she collected so many seeds from her, and it was a rigorous job. I think she has taken effort for so many years, but one day she came into light, and now she is so much. She has become so much popular, and people like her, people praise her. So you have to serve something new. What will be helpful to the society in the coming days? So she is really an inspiring personality, encouraging women to rural women. We should put before the rural women such examples. Look, they were the women like you, but now they are there. They have gone ahead. And you can also reach there. You can also reach the mountains. But you must believe in yourself. Believing in yourself is important. I remember Edmund Hillary has said that we have not conquered mountains. We have conquered ourselves. Ourselves means our fears, our drawbacks, our dark sides. We have to conquer them actually. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to trust in ourselves and then come forward.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Pinakin is asking you to elaborate on face reading of a man. She says it was a very good advice because if we beforehand know about wrong motives, we can be aware and alert.
Hmm. That is the subject of psychology, but generally we can look at the man, how his face is speaking. Your face is the mirror of your mind. it is said. So what is going on in his mind? Sometimes the man or the person tells you unnecessarily and giving you some gifts, lingering around you. No necessary. But he tries to be friendly. He visits you every now and then. He walks up to you, follow you. That is also his wrong intention. When you come to college, a boy, a youth is coming after you. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, so many days. He follows you. That means he has some wrong intention. So you should tell someone about this event and stop him doing that. And the eyes are also mirrors of the man. The lust is seen in that man's eye. You have to read that. You have to understand that. His interior intentions. What are his interior intentions? What is his inner purpose? Why he is lingering behind me? Why he is visiting me every now and then? And at such a moment, you have to use your sixth sense. Your sixth sense helps you. And women have naturally got that skill of using sixth sense and knowing the person's wrong intentions. But you have to apply it. You have to know it. You go playfully. You go very normally. And new acquaintances, you should be aware of new acquaintances. Sometimes you should know the difference between good touch and bad touch. In fact, there is no necessity of touching your body parts. The new persons, even your friends, they can talk to you, they can contact you, they can meet you meet each other, but some distance should be there. And if you must understand the difference between good touch and bad touch, so that is also useful to you, the wrong intentions of the such person.
Thank you, ma'am. This was the last question for today. We are really grateful to get your guidance. Riddhi, over to you.
Okay.
Am I audible, Sejal?
Yes, Riddhi.
Yes, you're audible.
As we come of this thought-provoking session, I take the opportunity and firstly a very warm gratitude to our chief speaker for today, Jayashree Gadare ma'am, who gave us her valuable time and enlightened us. I would also like to thank the principal of Ferguson College Autonomous Pune, Dr. Ravi sir, and the programming officers of National Service Scheme Unit, Sir, Shivaji Kokate sir, and Deepa Kulkarni ma'am for their advices, and also a huge thank you to the National Service Scheme Unit of Ferguson College for providing us the platform and the opportunity to organize these events and initiatives like this one. I will also acknowledge the college representative of National Service Scheme Unit, Om Bhope, for his continuous guidance and support, and I extend my to all my fellow leaders, but I would also thank the audience for their engaging and worthy response. Lastly, I would like to say that we still have a long way to go and help the rural women in the areas of education, healthcare, sanitation, employment, and many more. But we can start by acknowledging their efforts and respecting their sacrifices they make every day to keep their family healthy and to make their nation shine brightly. Holding on to that thought, I will declare that the webinar 3 organized by Vignan Prasad Group has come to an end. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you. Actually, there is no need of
Thank you very much.
thanking, because we are sailing in the same boat of education. I also was happy to be with you today. Thanks to all. Best wishes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.